The following podcast contains spoilers and explicit language. Listener discretion is advised. Hello and welcome to Animated Anarchy, the show that takes a critical look at animated features of all kinds to determine the good from the bad. Hello again, I'm Andrew Dickman.
And I am, how you say, Michael Ruocco. The French.
Oh yes, the French. This was okay. We're off to a great start because this is we're gonna sound a little weird because we have two special guests today, and watching a movie that is very.
How do you say special?
How do you say? Oh my God, that was really peaking. You got to be really careful about this one. I don't know what's going on.
So enthusiastic.
Yeah. But, so, what did we just watch, Mike?
Garbage.
Garbage.
Okay. We watched, Freddie the Frog.
Freddie the Frog.
A.K.A. Freddy as FR07.
FR07. Yeah, okay. So, we were going to watch this movie for a while now, but
we looked at it, and everywhere we've gone, we've seen, like, bottom 10 animated film lists, and somehow this one's always there. It's on every single one. And then the thing is, like, compared to the other ones, you look at like the poster and some of the footage, and it looked really well animated.
Yeah.
And then we watched it and then realized.
But I think this was like the movie where we just says like we need to take a break.
Oh yeah, that's what happened. We were gonna do this movie before our hiatus, and then this was the movie that kind of killed us.
Yeah,
because we were like,
it didn't kill us. Like
we literally were like, okay, what's our next movie? We're gonna do FR07.
Yeah.
Listen, I got shit to do. And then that turned into like a 4-month hiatus.
Yeah. So, so now that we're back...
A dinosaur story.
Oh, God damn. I said before we started recording, I said, we're not going to make this joke, but you did it anyway, so
I'm about
whatever.
to defy you.
So, yes, we watched Freddie the Frog on the request of our special guest... returning guest Zoe Moss. Yay. And Jacob Strick.
Good to be here again.
Yay! Welcome back. Let's give it a home applause. Hey, I hope you're applauding at home because we can't hear you. But yes. So, what made you?
Why do you like shit so much?
No, I don't.
I'm just so accustomed to the smell, I don't even know the difference anymore.
Yeah, we.
Oh, pee-pee le poo.
So, yeah. Well, last time you were here, we watched Rock and Roll, and that was a movie that you suggested, and that was actually I would say that was a more enjoyable film, more tolerable.
I will fight for Rock and Roll, but I will fight Freddy the Frog.
That's
the difference.
You will fight Freddy the Frog?
Yeah, because I feel feelings, I feel
he's
angry.
A giant frog.
I will take
with magic.
Hey! He is not!
He is not!
Spoilers, he is not a frog.
But he
is.
But the reason, so the key difference is Rock and Roll, you can respect it. Art went into that film,
right.
And when I came on to the show that time, I thought I'm going to go on in support of Rock and Roll because more people need to know about it.
Yeah.
But when I heard
True, I mean, more people do need to know about
Yes.
that movie because it is fairly good.
But when the subject of FR07 came up, I'm like, I need to go on this podcast and hate on it
because I love car accidents.
Because didn't I say we're gonna do Freddy the Frog, and then your eyes lit up like fucking Christmas, and you're like, if you do that episode, I gotta be on. I gotta talk about this movie.
We mentioned it a few times, and. The first time that we were going to review this, I saw... Okay, first off, I need to explain that there are two different versions of this movie. The first version, I think this came out in 92, and it was a British film, so it premiered in the UK. In Britainland, yeah.
Hollywood Studios, but animated in Battersea.
Oh God, that's true.
And then a week later, it premiered in America, and I can't fathom people looking at that version on screen I mean, I can't imagine people watching this movie in the theaters regardless. But then a few years later, they decided, hey, remember that Freddie the Frog movie? Maybe we should, like, I don't know, let's kind of re-edit it and see if it will be a little better this time on home video. And there are differences to it, but there aren't, like, it's not severe. Like, they didn't fix the problem.
You can only polish a turd so much.
I think they actually added backgrounds, mainly because of the beginning credits.
The opening credits.
Because the opening credits take, like, 10 minutes. These were the longest opening credits I've ever seen, because it's trying to go through this song.
Andrew, do you remember any of the names listed?
Then
they did a bad job.
Do you think that they were expecting more people to help make the film? Because they tend to hold on a lot of empty backgrounds.
Yeah.
You wait for that name to come up. It never does, and they cut to the
it's like it pans. It starts a pan from one side to the next.
And you're like,
and then as soon as it stops, it's like, okay, we got it. Now we can show the card.
How long did it hold on that beautiful background painting of a tree, by the way?
Yeah. Oh, that beautiful
30
tree.
seconds.
Yeah,
the tree. I remember the tree.
I remember the tree because we pointed out. Are there credits?
The tree was my favorite character.
Yeah, because the scene would hold, and you'd be like,
he was so wooden.
And a name, and then
he was actually the least
up.
wooden character in this entire film.
But we should, because you saw this as a kid.
So the reason why my eyes light up whenever somebody says Freddie the Frog is because when I was a child, I would rent it from Video Journeys, my local video store, and I grew up like every 3 months or so watching this film, as you do as a child. And everyone has, obviously.
Right. We all have that one film that we probably have seen more than enough, and then we look back on it.
I have several of them.
Yeah.
So I remembered it. I went through life. I went to college, and I'm at the Goodwill, and I'm like, oh my God, Freddie the Frog! $5? Sure, why not? And I watched it.
It should be an indication right there, like $5.
So
wait a minute, there's a trick.
Oh God, I put it in the VHS and I watched it. I'm like, oh wow, this is
worse than you remember.
And then I'm like, Jake, you gotta see it. It's a film from my childhood.
Well, Zoe has been a gateway for me in a lot of ways to see films that I normally would not have watched.
Jacob introduced me to good film.
And you introduced me to Forbidden Zone, which actually is a really good film. And, lesser works like A Troll in Central Park. And so I'm like...
Lesser works.
I'm game. I'm game. I want to see
Jake,
this.
want to watch some trash?
Okay, sure. We have nothing else to do. We're laying in bed with our burritos. And it's probably a really hot day, and we pop it in, and
you get sick.
I get upset, because this is a film. All films require suspension of disbelief, but I think they're asking too much. A French prince who becomes a Secret Service agent who assists the British. When you're watching the U.S. version, remember there are two versions. They set it up chronologically, so you don't know where it's going. Yeah, and I just proceed to get madder and madder.
All right.
Now, if you describe the plot to somebody without warning, they'll think you're having a stroke.
That's like me. I used to do that with Space Jam. You find someone who's never heard of Space Jam or seen the movie, and you try to describe the plot to them, they'll think you're fucking nuts.
Yeah, if you describe the plot of Freddie the Frog, they'll think you're fucking nuts.
The synopsis alone, like if you had to describe a movie and limit it yourself to like a 1 or 2 sentence synopsis. Essentially, in this movie, it's we'll talk
Freddie
about
the Frog, who is not a frog, is sent to save Britain.
Okay, well let's because tonight we watched the original UK
cut.
A decision I regret.
Yeah.
J.R.R. Tolkien.
I mean, I honestly, I think that's a decision we all regret because we all kind of unanimously. Well, I mean, aside from Jake,
well, it's either choose the trap with the tiger or choose the trap with the crocodile. Either way, you're gonna die or it's gonna be a really nasty situation. Whether you go the UK version or the American version.
Kind of like our election right now, or something.
Yeah. Well.
It's either, by the way, if you're hearing this in the future and you're still alive, congratulations.
it worked out. All right, so this movie. We'll start off with the movie.
Okay, let's. All right,
start from. Shall
So
we
we
say
start-
the beginning?
How we say the beginning. Oh, this is another one.
These-
Guys, before we start, if you watch this movie, if you haven't seen this movie, stop this episode and watch it, and make a drinking game out of it. Every time, and this is with any movie where you have it's an English movie with a French character in it.
Especially this one.
Specifically this one.
Have you ever realized whenever anyone says like, "Let's make a drinking game out of this," you're more than likely going to die of alcohol poisoning.
Yeah.
Because
Anytime in any one of these movies where you have a predominantly like there's a French character predominantly in the cast, like he's a main character.
Right.
He will, if anytime the character goes, well, we should, how you say, go this way. Saying how you say in the middle of a sentence, take a drink. How you say, or as you call it, whatever. You know, like whenever they have that moment where they stop and they have to as if they're translating, or like if I'm getting it right, how you say.
why are they
bullshit?
Why do they treat the French like they're trying to comprehend our phrases, like as if they don't really
Like
know?
they're trying to be polite.
I guess it's like, are they really? I don't know why I'm using this movie as like an actual window to the French, because we'll get into it, but this is the most fucking racist movie I have ever seen.
No.
And the French are treated actually very well compared to like
what is
They're all wizards.
what is Grillby or
I don't know
Grizzly
about that.
call it's like a garlic eater?
garlic eater.
Garlic eater.
Or
Yeah,
it looks like it was dubbed over. Like they had another thing that was even worse, and they're like, "That's too much. Let's call him a garlic eater."
Yeah, what was up with
Is
Cheese
that-
eating surrender monkey.
Is that a thing? A garlic eater?
Not
I mean,
in 2016.
I guess.
So anyway, the movie starts.
Like, get your racism right. It's
Yeah.
the cheese.
So we're talking about, by the way, the UK version.
Yeah. And
Which is on YouTube.
Like, there's so many British isms in this as well.
And only British people would get it. That's the assumption. If the joke goes over my head, I'm like, I guess it's British humor, or maybe it's just really bad. I can't tell.
Just bad.
Anyway, we haven't even begun to like.
And he's already having an aneurysm over there.
It's British humor trying to appeal to American, like Hollywood humor.
Yeah,
It's the weirdest thing.
So the movie starts with the longest credit sequence, and
With
in
this song,
with a song that breaks your eardrums.
It is
Breaks your
honestly
stereos.
okay. If I were to describe this song, it would be
Slaying dragons.
every song that plays at the end of a Disney movie.
Which I hate
Like,
those pop love ballad radio versions of
Yeah.
Disney songs.
And it starts with this.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, while we're listening to this and we're watching the credits slowly pop in and out, we see France and a car with like frog noises driving in like a barren wasteland.
There's
of Paris.
other cars. There's no people on the street.
Nobody
It's like
else.
28 Days Later, but France.
It's I Am Legend with a frog.
Only this frog in this frog car.
Wait, what does the car sound like?
It ribbits, and it looks kind of like Penelope Pitstop's car from Wacky Races, but it makes. Yeah, and it ribbits, and then little hearts come out the exhaust pipe.
Yeah.
Green hearts.
It's a female car.
It's
Yeah.
a female
We
car.
need to
Jealous
establish that.
female car.
Jealous female.
It may be named Carmen, but we don't know.
Get Carmen.
Oh. So
It might be like he mentioned it like one time.
We couldn't
but-
understand what he said.
because
Yeah.
also like the music is pretty loud
Yeah.
over any sort of dialogue. So
What's the one thing that the songs keep repeating?
slaying dragons.
I'll slay a dragon for you.
And where is Freddy driving to?
he's driving all over France.
Yeah, he's driving everywhere.
He has
He
all
just
the time
drives.
in the world.
And yeah, so he ends up
with his woman
going to like I guess what is essentially his villa or his
His
house.
pad.
his
Pad.
Lily pad.
Oh. That wasn't even in the movie. That was just a pun that you made up. So he goes in and he
He
feeds his koi fish, and then he starts getting a a flashback.
Yeah, like one of those like wavy flashbacks, and it's like there's no like dialogue over this. It's the music. I think the music was still going on.
Yeah.
The music goes on for about a minute after the credits are over.
Yeah, and it's like all of a sudden there's a wave, and now we're like on a field, and we see little cottages, and we're just like, oh, is this another part of France? And then the narration comes in. And it is, of course, like, once upon a time, it's all good stories would be. There was a prince named Frederick
with his magician king father.
Yeah.
And
I don't know what accent.
And like, first of all, you wonder, it's like, wait, what? Because we open up with Freddie the Frog,
modern day.
Yeah, in modern day, and then all of a sudden we're now in ye old times in a castle
in France. It looks like some Little Mermaid castle, like on a cliff.
Little Mermaid / Snow White.
Yeah,
kind of Snow White-ish castle.
Yeah, and we're left to wonder. It's like, okay, is this like, how does this connect to Freddie the Frog? I mean, it's like. And then it dawns on you, he says Frederick, which is the little kid, and it's like, wait, is that the main character? Wait, Freddy, Frederick, what?
Yeah.
I thought it was a frog. And then it's like the narration keeps going. It's like, but then the king also had a wicked sister. And the wicked sister wanted to kill the king. And she did. She killed the king.
Oh, but no,
her magic was as black as night.
Yes.
Her magic, like the night, was, how you say,
I'm
dark and black.
Yeah, I'm definitely like
and just to,
summarizing this god-awfully long...
I was wondering why later, and it was almost like a throwaway, not a throwaway line, but I just missed it. In the movie, the father is a magician, and he passed along his magic onto Frederick.
I guess he did.
So
they say it.
There's this horrible line that says he did that, and Frederick's father's magic was telling him to watch out for his evil Aunt Messina.
Yeah.
That is from the film.
It's pretty bad.
That's so convoluted.
But yeah, so he ends up, they're riding horses in the woods, and then she turns into a snake. Turns into a snake, and the horse rears back, and he falls about 10 feet and dies.
He falls sideways.
And the horse falls just over.
Does it?
Yeah, the horse
I thought it just ran off.
No, the horse falls.
It's just like the horse was just like, "Fuck you, king, I'm out."
So the father dies, like all great stories do.
Yes.
And so the aunt becomes the ruler.
Oh, they did also mention the queen.
Yeah,
she died.
Was like, she died. They just had a kind of like, but Frederick's
was
mother,
very sad.
Oh yeah, they were both.
They were
very
despondent.
Sad. They were both despondent because the queen, and they showed a picture of her, and then also the ship that she was apparently in, just like sinking. So,
I gotta bring up the first line of dialogue for the narrator is, I think it's, once upon a time where all great stories start.
Yeah.
Where or when?
I forget.
Yeah, it's something about great stories. It's like it's like
don't say your movie's great.
When, here's the thing. It's like the person who made this film obviously thought they were making the greatest thing ever
because they threw everything in it.
Yeah, it was like, hey, all right, I got musical numbers. I got magic. I got a king.
I got a spy.
Martial arts.
I got
Nazis. Got lots of Nazis.
The KKK making.
Yes, the
KKK.
We'll get to that.
Okay. So Frederick's father has died.
Frederick's father has died, and now his wicked aunt wants to take care of him now.
Croissant-headed aunt.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
it turns into a snake. Like a very sharp
looking at a
snake.
mirror. She's looking at a mirror, and then she comes through the mirror. It is the most confusing shot in the film.
And another thing too about this snake, it is the most interestingly awful design of a snake. Like, I mean, it's very intricate and very well designed, but the thing has freaking hips.
It has hips and a chest.
It has hips. Like, it's a normal snake, and then it, like, almost like a stingray, just fans out and makes hips, and then goes back to a snake.
There are moments where it's worse than other times, and I described it as, think of a snake that has just swallowed an entire rib cage, and it's just sitting in the middle of the snake. So it's like, yeah, you just see like the shoulders, and
it looks like she swallowed a yield sign. It's not a very flattering.
Pretty much.
So she.
There's moments where this snake looks like it's half flatworm.
Yeah, it's also very flat. Oh, God. And so she transforms Frederick into a frog.
Yeah.
With a tiny crown.
Killing him would be too easy.
Yeah. So he escapes out the window, and then there's this very long, lengthy chase in the water where every 2 seconds he hides behind something and has his back pressed.
And then the snake finds him.
And
then he hides around another corner, and then the snake finds him.
His magician king father from beyond the grave.
Oh, yeah. From beyond the grave, the king shows up as a vision underwater. It's like, run, Frederick.
Swim, Frederick.
Remember who you are. And then the snake comes by and is like, you won't save him, brother.
Good luck, brother.
I was like, can she see his mirage? Visions?
Yeah.
What the? This is
Did she
so
make the
goddamn
vision?
confusing. I mean, it's like, we're not even 15 minutes in, or it could have been 15 minutes. That's how long this goddamn scene was going on. I mean, I can't.
So he flies into another cave to hide.
Yeah.
And it happens to be the mouth of Nessie.
The
Loch Ness monster.
Oh, it's Nessie. I'm the Loch Ness monster.
You could call me Nessie.
And I think she has a thing for the frog.
Yeah,
as well,
so she saves...
Yeah.
She saves Frederick, and the queen, the ant turns into a tornado and just destroys a ship.
There's a stray ship that just gets sucked up into this typhoon, and I just imagine like, whoa.
Sorry.
But and so Nessie saves
collateral damage.
Yeah, Nessie saves Frederick, but her tail is caught under a rock. And Frederick, using his magic that his father taught him,
that was passed on to him by his father,
lifts up the rock.
See, I did not get that. I just thought he was always magic to begin with.
I don't know. Did his father create him out of magic?
Well, he had a mom.
Well, in many ways,
it was a loveless marriage.
Sex, when you think about it, sex is kind of magical when you think about it.
She died, and then he made her.
He was alone, and he's like, I need a son. Make my wife. I will make a son.
Okay, so just so we're clear, the aunt killed the queen. Amidst doing that, killed the king
out of nowhere. By the way, she admits to killing the mom.
But it's like, Fred, all right,
did she? She admitted it?
Yeah, she's like, I will kill you as I killed your father, and I killed your mother.
Yeah, that's right.
She sounds like Cloris Leachman and Young Frankenstein.
Yeah, it's like, why is she German?
Yeah.
I thought this was France.
I don't know what her
Germans are evil, Andrew.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I will
kill you like I did your father
and your mother.
She was my boyfriend.
And then I will rule the world. And then she kills a whole ship.
Yeah.
Just because she's
like, fuck you, shit, fuck you.
So she leaves before even trying to murder him.
Yeah.
It's just a cat and mouse chase. And then
I don't think she's very magical.
Fred saves Nessie. And what does he do after that? He jumps.
Oh, no. He faints. She takes him as far as she can, which is, I guess,
it's like,
Scotland or something, or on the far
this is
end.
as far as I can go.
Where are we? I don't know.
It's like, if you ever need me, just whistle.
And then she says, Nessie.
Yeah, because that's how you have to do it.
So if you're in Scotland right now.
Do the Quail Man call and then say Nessie.
So he jumps out of her hand and goes into fucking orbit.
Yes, he jumps into space, and then when he falls back to Earth, he's now in New Orleans.
Yes.
No, he's in Europe. He's in like
he's in New Orleans.
Old Orleans. Just Orleans.
No, I saw when he lands.
No, Michael.
No, he's never been to the USA. Remember that?
Oh, that's true.
When you see the
New
planet,
Orleans
you
is in the USA.
you see Europe. and you see like Spain, and he lands kind of on the south end of France, where France and Spain meet.
Someone was paying attention.
I was actually paying attention to that scene. You guys were crying, and so he lands, and then he comes across like a bunch of singing.
There's a jazz band.
Band frogs.
Jazz band frogs. We get this moment where we see
and he has to hide his crown.
But then he's the only naked frog.
Yeah, everyone else is wearing clothes.
So he's a freak. But then again, he's not a frog.
He's just watching a bunch of frogs get drunk, and then all of a sudden, it's winter.
Yeah.
And you see them frolicking, building snowmen and ice skating.
Wouldn't they be dead or in hibernation?
And we can't tell which frog is Freddy.
Yeah, I can't tell. I wasn't able... like, is that Freddy? Is he flirting with this skater frog?
I assume.
Yeah, this movie is nothing but assumptions. And assumptions that don't go anywhere, because... Why are we suddenly...
You could have cut that scene out of the film and burned it so that no one would ever see it again.
This entire movie...
But we needed frog business to pad out the movie.
But he doesn't
frog business.
He doesn't fuck the frog. He doesn't like... They don't have...
There's not a love connection.
He doesn't have... Okay, this would have been awesome if he fell in love with a female frog, and then the next scene is, our babies are growing up. But I am living a lie. I must go be a secret agent.
I'm living a lie!
It's like, I thought this is what I wanted.
Like, I thought it would be interesting if maybe you see them grow up and learn the ways of being a frog or something.
Yeah.
Or getting used to it.
Quite content.
So it's summertime and
the
everyone's
narrator
swimming.
comes back out of nowhere and says like, but Freddy was not content or something. And then it says like, because he had magical powers. And then he grew.
And grew.
He...
grows to human size just suddenly.
I think
just out of nowhere.
To like 5'3" though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's tiny compared to some people.
Now at this point, you think how much time has passed, because obviously the time where he was like a prince and everything, this must have been like maybe 100, 200 years.
No, he says 20 years.
20 years?
He time traveled, I assume.
No, he said 20. It's 20 years or something.
When he jumped into
like
space,
2 decades.
I think he's time traveling.
So where the fuck did this king...
Where's this magic fucking timeless kingdom come from? What part of France? This magical
it's on Earth
Narnia France. So he grows.
He jumped from another planet onto the...
Because that is the only explanation.
So he grows and grows, and he repeats that, I am not...
I cannot.
You think this is going to turn into a song, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I am not.
Oh, speaking of which, back in the bedroom, and he starts singing a song like, and then Freddy was something, and just suddenly you think it's going to go into a song, and then the narrator just starts narrating normally.
Freddy's dad has just died. His Frederick's at the funeral, and then they go to the, I want to say, hotel room.
Yeah, there are so many false starts to music.
But that's such a beautiful moment, because he just out of nowhere, and then Freddy was sad, and he was with his aunt, and then the aunt went to kill him. Wait, it's like, what was that song? We don't... What? No, you didn't hear a song.
I was like, if they thought that counted as a song...
Sorry, the music, I thought there was a, how you say, music cue.
We need 8 tracks to our record, so... all right, just sing song these couple lines, and we'll put him in the record.
Yeah. So he grows big, and then the frogs give him... He grows big, and the frogs give him clothes. And then he goes, I am off to seek my future.
I have to say, Andrew just hit himself in the head several times.
Do you see what this film is?
And then it cuts to the Back to the Future, and you realize that he somehow, and they never show it, which I think would be a much more interesting movie to show. He's suddenly a spy for France? Like he's like a double agent, like he's a 007.
We assume that the next scene, it's like it goes back to where he's in his penthouse, and then his phone,
his frog phone calls,
his pad house,
and then Freddy went to London.
Yeah, then the narrator say that? And then Freddy went to London.
It's like, wait, what?
And it's like, wait a minute. So, and then you realize this. You realize the movie is about a boy prince whose magic father gives him magical powers. His father's killed by
who looks like Mac Tonight, by the way.
None of
Jake
that.
Pointed out
and then,
to me.
honestly, for the rest of the movie, none of that fucking matters.
Yeah.
None of it.
Yeah.
So maybe the snake bit.
Okay. This is basically someone telling a story about like, and then all of a sudden, like a child out of nowhere decides to ask. It's like, how did Freddy become a frog?
Well,
and then the storyteller is basically stuck in a corner. It was like, he used to be
funny,
a prince.
It's funny you should say that because Freddie the Frog is based on a children's book. That was that was written by. It was written by this father who told the stories of Freddie the Frog, secret agent FR07, to his child, and then I read the book, and then I don't know.
Did you read the book?
No, I've never seen it on the shelf, so it's like
it's a bestseller.
But I would love to see the book.
If we could find the book, I would love
to see that.
Are you sure it's a book? Are you sure it wasn't nothing?
It's like my scribblings, my manuscript.
Okay, maybe the guy like wrote the script. It's like, oh yeah, it's based off a book that where's the book? Can I read the book? I lost it.
Some of the most memorable stories are come from like parents telling their kids stories.
If it worked for the
it worked for Winnie the Pooh. It worked for
Alice in Wonderland.
Alice in Wonderland was another one.
Surely it would work for Freddy the Frog.
And so it's a movie about a magic frog who turns life size to a human size and becomes a spy.
Even if that is in the book, you don't need it in the fucking movie. You just need to tell the story about there's a frog and he's a secret agent and hilarity ensues.
But what about his Aunt Messina? I mean, how am I supposed to deal?
Even in most Disney movies, there's this vague backstory between characters where it's just like, and all of a sudden they meet the villain and he says like, you remember me? You were my father's favorites. And it's like, and I was like, yeah, there's...
Okay, I just realized something. You don't fucking need the opening because when he faces Messina at the end, it's like, he doesn't react how one normally would to somebody who killed their father years ago.
Yeah.
He's just like, hello, Messina. You
scamp.
I will defeat you.
It's kind of like
you're up to your old tricks again.
But the thing that's weird about this movie is that it's a lot like the Star Wars, like in the case of like say Force Awakens or one of the Star Wars prequels, where they talk about things that sound way more interesting than the movie. Like they say, remember when we fought those monsters way back when? Or in the case of Force Awakens, where it's like, oh, what's all this crazy shit that happened before whatever happened in Force Awakens? Right. I want to see that.
Yeah.
But no, we skip all the growth and all of who this character is, and then we just cut to he goes to London, and all the monuments are being stolen.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. It's like immediately after this whole entire backstory, it's just like, and then he went to France to become a secret agent. Now we're in London. All of a sudden, we're in London, and monuments are being taken.
There's a man who
disappearing.
gets tangled in phone cords.
Yeah,
his character is that he's a blithering mess,
who we don't see until after the scene with the racist crows.
Yes.
Useless racist crows.
Yes. That just like, oh, I'm so happy to be here in London. We're going to go see the
Well, the weird thing also is that when
London.
they first show up, they actually sound British.
They kind of, well, it's like they're half British, half like...
It's trying to be like the crows in Dumbo.
Yeah.
It was, no.
Hey, you think Disney's got great crows? Wait till you see my crows. These crows are going to be
these weird,
so racist and awesome. People are going to love these crows.
These off-the-wall punk-ass crows.
Yeah.
I like Jake pointed out,
I love...
the crows are like the ones from Fritz the Cat.
Yeah, very Fritz the Cat like crows.
The entire scene
like
does.
They have breasts.
And clothes.
And you start to get the sense that this movie is just going to be made up of moments that don't justify themselves. No. You start to settle in. Oh my God, Freddy the Frog. Why are we still...
Every time I finish talking about something in this movie, I'm noticing. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this commissioner guy or whoever he is,
I guess he's part of like the
British
the Secret Service
of Britain. And he's calling like because they
I
lose
think
all their
the
agents.
Prime Minister has called him.
Yeah, the Prime Minister's called them, and they don't have all their agents.
Yes, Prime Minister. Yes,
Oh, you idiot! No, I wasn't talking to you. Oh.
Yeah, and he gets
Who
tangled.
were you talking to?
And it happens like 3 or 4 times in the movie where he gets tangled in phone
It's
cords.
so funny. It's just the funniest. Repeat it.
So
Again.
Poor Jake.
They like, I know, just to call our last,
anxiety.
our last hope is FRO7, and so
Yeah,
they call.
it's like I've called in the greatest.
The hand
And they say,
Great.
and they say like all the things he's done, like he fought the this and he saved the whatever, and it's like I want to see those stories.
Yeah.
And then he's driving his not talking, but just a live car,
His meat vehicle.
his meat vehicle. What? I just repeated what you
it-
said, not realizing what you just said.
No, it's like I'm assuming it's filled with organs.
That was such
bones.
a British laugh.
But I just imagine it's like I imagine he enchanted a regular vehicle.
I'm getting an aneurysm thinking about this.
He enchanted a vehicle and it has a skeleton.
Which we only
and
know
has
because of the
bone.
backstory because he's magic.
Yeah.
So
It's
He
a
doesn't-
It's a good thing they had that then.
yeah, and so this is where the
There's
races.
no mention of him. Well, I mean, throughout
I hate that
until the
car.
end of the movie, there's no really indication that he's magic. I mean, it's like he has like a car, which is like
He's magic when you
cartoony and
need him to.
Yeah, it's a problem.
It's Deus Ex Machina magic.
Frog.
Magica.
when he
Deus
shows
Ex Magica.
the guy when he shows up
Darling.
at the office after they do the race, it's like, sir, he's a frog. What? That's very rude.
No, that's
How
rude.
dare you say such things about
No,
our French allies?
Well, what I mean is he's green. What? How? He's very experienced. Like, yes, we get it. But
That's very British humor.
He shows up and like, well, what are your weapons? Like, I don't use weapons except for the magic of the mind. And I'm
How
like,
you say?
I'm so pissed because like you're you're supposedly the #1 agent in France, and if anyone told me that when they came to my office, like, no, you get out, you crazy person. Where's the real FRO7?
Yeah. And so
Yeah,
so
they kind of like blindly
then they-
accept this. Oh, you're a frog.
then
oh,
they
okay.
And there's
whatever.
this character that's sort of like this. You look at him and you're like, he's
evil.
fucking evil. He's working for the bad guys.
He's
just
purple. He has a Hitler
snively-
haircut.
Yeah, snively little penguiny looking guy.
Yeah.
And he's following the whole
His
time. and
name
making
is something like Grisby or Grimsley. I think
Something-
it's Grimsley.
He's always planting doubt seeds, that little fuck.
Oh, he's constantly like, what
Yeah.
is this called? Tent fingers or twiddling?
What, when you
his-
twiddle your fingers?
Tentaclinos.
Yeah.
Oh.
But
Tentaclinos.
Voiced by Jonathan Price, by the way.
Oh yeah, we
He
haven't
barely
talked
has any
about,
sort of-
Oh yeah, we haven't
Oh.
talked about the voices of
The
them.
the
amazing
voice of
voice
Freddy
cast.
is Ben Kingsley. Gandhi plays this over-the-top French accent, like not even close to like even Pepe Le Pew like. It's even like worse.
How you call it? Phone it in.
But yeah, so it's Ben Kingsley, and then
It's like he was afraid that if he actually acted, he would break children everywhere.
yeah, Nigel Hawthorne I think plays not the Prime Minister, but the whoever
I'm Nigel Hawthorne.
Yeah, Nigel Hawthorne. He's Brigadier G, the head.
yeah,
of
the
the
Brigadier.
British-
That's who it is. The Brigadier, the guy, the Brigadier phone tangler.
This sounds like a sexual criminal.
Oh no, Jack the Ripper! No, it's the phone tangler.
Jonathan Price, like, is
Yeah, he's
his name's Trilby.
like the
Oh,
hat,
Trilby.
like the hat, like the milady hat, Trilby.
What?
That the hats are
would-
called Trilbies.
He would totally
yeah,
say
yeah,
milady,
yeah.
though. It's like, yes, well, milady.
So
Why does nobody want to fuck me?
and then so
That's why
they
he's
all
evil.
walk away, and there's an awkward scene
a nice
transition where they
guy.
just replace they
Yes.
crosses off the BG to be like in an underground lab, and they meet this karate play, and there's like a bug, like a robotic bug that she has on her.
It lands on the Brigadier's nose, and he's like, Daffos, get it off. And she's all like, come to mommy. And it's never
there's like
visited again.
never-
yeah, there's a golden bug that you think would be like
Useful
I
some
feel
sort
later
of,
like
in
a
the movie.
gold bug.
yeah, it's like it's something. It's like a metallic bug that just lands on her chest.
No, let's be specific. It lands on her breast.
Yes,
And then Freddy, of course, is Freddy.
There's a reason.
Freddy, of course, is smitten, and he says, and we were like, "Whoa, what does he say?"
It's like, you can use all these weapons, or I don't use weapons, but how you say, like the landing,
like your landing,
and it's a shot of her chest.
Place. Because it landed on her breast.
It's a shot of her chest.
And he's looking down at her. And then at one point she flashes him.
Yeah, she opens up.
She's wearing a I'm going to
like a judo.
Yeah, it's like
outfit.
a karate gi or it's that.
Yeah. Because has karate like outfit.
Well, I think she actually does taekwondo
or something.
What was it called when
martial
you do it in the
arts
park?
Tai Chi?
Yeah, I think she does Tai Chi because she moves really slow. Like Tai Chi.
To the point of uselessness.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway.
Even in fight scenes.
Of course she's got to move slow because
she flashes Freddy.
She opens up her knee.
Oh, can we talk about, because this happens throughout the entire movie and it happens here, the way Freddy walks in this movie. He walks with his arms out as if he's like... Dancing, but not.
Yeah.
Like his arms are like gracefully.
Like he walks like he's trying to not step on glass with
he's
bare feet.
or he's wading through like an invisible river.
Yeah.
He walks like a pimp from a blaxploitation film. That's what he looks like. He's like, oh yeah, I got the stuff. He's just what the fuck?
And what was her name?
Daffers.
Even when he's like, I also have to mention that he walks like that even when he's like normal. In costume. When he's trying to sneak up on something, and he's still got that swagger, like...
But how would you know if it was him?
What?
He did not do
the fucking frog face didn't help?
Like, oh,
God. So...
Michael, how dare you?
The weird thing is... And another thing, too, is that people were like, oh, you're a frog. But then... Nobody else, even at later on, because they go to a horse race. No one's like, oh, there's a walking frog. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, no one is really shocked by this.
But so they meet.
Everyone's
Scotty.
really
Scotty, because he's Scottish, and he's like Q, and he's like, I don't need weapons. I just use my mind.
Scotty is obviously
from need weapons.
Zimbabwe,
Ireland, right?
Yeah,
Zimbabwe, Ireland.
From Scotland, and then
he's Scottish.
We got to go find out more information, so we should go to the what do you call it?
The little horse races.
The horse races.
Oh, God.
To be fair,
because bad people hang out there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was his reasoning for it. But to be fair, there are quite a few James Bond films where they go to the race courses and they always find the villain there.
Good point.
So
not even the villain.
Hey,
it's
point to Freddy the Frog.
Hey, Freddy the Frog, you did it.
Yeah,
it's 4 henchmen that you never see again.
Which is honestly the only connection to James Bond this movie will ever have in its cleverness.
They actually, oh god, I hate this movie. There's a one part like where they're looking through their stupid phone book of like 007, no, he's in Hollywood. It's like fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
But as you mentioned, Mike, they run into some henchmen who they're just there to scope it out. But no, they threaten Freddy. They say, "Oh yeah, we have a message for you, and the message is death."
Well, you better give me the message.
And he beats them up.
And then he just springs on the roof, and then he overhears the plan. That
they're just like, "Oh, where'd he go?"
And they steal.
Boss, we lost Freddy.
I love how they keep hold on to the stupid communicator like it's made out of butter.
Yeah, they keep slipping this thing around. But it's like, all right, well, we better go to the next area where we're going to pick up our next thing.
Oh, we never really explained. Monuments are being stolen.
Big Ben.
Big Ben is going to be stolen, and a bunch of the Tower of London.
But they say this out in the open. It's like, okay, our next hit is Big Ben. And
repeat.
Freddy's
Big
like
Ben.
Up there, like in the
rafters.
rafters.
By the way, Freddy does not have ears.
But he can hear this.
But he's cupping them anyway.
Oh, God, I hate this. He doesn't even have little holes.
Well, I guess they're going to Big Ben.
I can hear through my skin.
So they tell the Brigadier that they're actually... that it's going to be at Windsor Castle, just so they don't get attacked or anything. Yeah. So he and Daffers and Scotty go to Big Ben.
Dumb plan.
And they get taken. The Big Ben gets taken away.
This is exhausting.
By this giant flying snake
with exposed wires. And it lifts up Big Ben. Oh, and
we need to mention this is where we see the villains now. This is where we're introduced to the villains.
What is the name of the evil?
Brian Blessed. villain.
His name is El Supremo.
El Supremo? His name is El Supremo?
El Supremo.
And he's voiced by Brian Blessed, who is Clayton in Tarzan.
Blessed be Brian.
And he kind of has a similar beard. Well, no. It's kind of like, he looks like if you took Peg Leg Pete, made him human, and then combined him, and you said it before that he moves like a Tiny Toon Adventures
He moves
villain.
and looks like a Tiny Toons / Animaniacs villain because he has like this huge jaw, huge gut, tiny legs, and he just like prances about.
What a charming.
And he's the most
charming
well
design.
animated, and
laughs
If you-
after every line that he delivers. Brian Blessed, he must have had such fun.
they must have tickled him in the booth.
Well, I mean, like, he's giving his all to his performance. I
And
mean,
I am dying for it.
I mean,
I'm living for it.
I mean, honestly, like, in comparison, like, Ben Kingsley is like, he's
He's
just...
not even
And I
there.
love Ben Kingsley.
I
as
love
an
Ben
actor.
Kingsley's too, but in this, he's just like, he's saying his lines so they can be as long as possible.
Yeah.
You know, he says like...
The movie would be
well,
about 40 minutes shorter if he didn't say how you say.
Why?
Yeah, but Brian Blessed... Brian Blessed, he gives it his all.
He eats up his dialogue.
Fuck, and I mean, like, I hate this villain, but
I love this villain.
damn, he's like, he's still fun to watch, but it starts getting old because he is in scenes constantly for long periods of time, and he is saying a line, laughing, saying a line, laughing, saying a line, laughing, loud music.
And by the way, his lower jaw detaches at certain points.
He gets like the Simpsons Twister mouth, where like his head turns this way and his
Imagine
jaw
a
is over
Simpsons
here.
Twister mouth, but on ones.
Oh,
with shading.
He's definitely the best animated character in the movie.
Do you think?
The fact-
do you think the treat that they gave, the reward that they gave animators on this film was like, "Hey, here's your El Supremo shot of the
Well,
day."
yeah. Here's the thing: is like El Supremo is in this so much that he is most likely 50% of animation, and it's like I feel like there are scenes where it's just like I don't know what to add to this character, so let's just
go to town.
Let's just like break his jaw and see where it goes.
But also another thing too is that El Supremo almost like is almost like his pet, the snake. Like
she's back.
She's back, and I guess she is technically the ringleader.
What is the name of the evil corporation or whatever it is
that they work for?
Yeah, like I guess they just
snake.
say things like the power of the snake.
The snake shall rule the world.
Yeah, I guess it is the snake.
I guess she started this regime.
It's unclear what their relationship really is.
She is basically
he seems like the one in control.
Are they lovers?
Because he seems like the one in
they-
control, but she
they act like it.
Yeah.
she's like she looks like the henchman
She is
animal.
hissing in her tongue in his mouth. at
Yeah,
several
she's
points.
just vamping for the camera. It's horrible. She's
you were making fun of it before.
But it's like when you said
like trying to have a conversation with somebody.
So I'm going to
just get right in front of you.
so I'm going
Yeah, she's like, look at me, look at me, look at me. Are you looking at me? Look at me.
And hey, they give her a song. They give her a Grace Jones song.
Grace Jones song. It's amazing.
And the weird thing is that she sings this song about how she's evil
she
and
talks.
she moves
She's
her
rhyming.
She moves her snake hips, and then
See how
she
my
kills
eyes
her
shine,
henchman.
you're mine.
She kills her henchman for no reason. And
Speaking of the henchmen, we should note that these are the most Nazi-esque looking like
they're Nazis, but they move
You-
very
did
weird.
Did you
know
know
how-
there was a guy in full like snake Nazi gear with a Hitler mustache at
Yeah.
one point, and she may or may not have killed him.
and Ku Klux Klan members.
Yeah, that was not cool.
Just so you know, they're evil.
and
Ku
death.
Klux Klan
Death.
members.
There was
are
like
in
a
the
guy
back.
there was a guy in a skull with a skull and a cloak like death.
There were cult members in the
There
background.
There were
Knights
roller
of
skates.
Knee?
They're having
The
the
Knights
Ku
of
Klux
Knee.
Klan
Knee
in
were
there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a dance
She
party.
is killing people constantly. There's a guy that she like
in the most uncomfortable,
she
like
squeezes him and she's like, "Oh, I've squeezed you," and she slides away or whatever, and he's blue.
yeah, she's basically killed like 25% of the henchmen that were there singing with her.
Zapping them with electricity and magic.
if you have to see any part of this dreadful movie, make it this one. But obviously, if you watch the U.S. version, it's
the
neutered.
U.S. version they cut it.
It's like
down.
half the length.
It was just like there are way too many Nazis and Ku Klux members in this, and it's making me uncomfortable. Maybe we should cut these out.
I also gotta say, I feel like they're those weird like robots that like she's the queen of.
Oh yeah, those weird
guys
robots.
and the snake ship that's carrying Big Ben look very Pink Floyd The Wall to me.
They do. You're right.
You're right.
It's oh god.
My movie's gonna have Pink Floyd. My movie's gonna have snakes. It's gonna have Nazis. It's gonna have everything. It's gonna be better than Disney.
Here's something.
You see, Disney, you can talk to us. We're adults.
There's something I'm thinking about now. How did they recruit the Ku Klux Klan? Like, what was their like reasoning? It's like, well, we're gonna take over the world, and you guys hate black people, right? Yeah. Come on in, join our club.
We took out that building from those black crows, huh?
Yeah.
It was like, see that?
Which is like, what, like, because I mean, like, what? I mean, I don't think the Ku Klux Klan want to rule the world. I think they're just.
I don't know. I mean,
They're
they're
just
pretty,
racist assholes.
They are pretty evil.
Yeah.
It's like
this entire thing was basically look how evil we are,
And they like
we have the KKK in our ship.
This is a kids movie.
Yeah,
There are
PG.
I can't.
It was rated
believe-
PG when it came out.
I just can't believe.
But so
I love the.
It was-
This is not a good sentence, but I love the little like the dance that the Nazis do. They're goose stepping, but they're also doing the hand jive.
They're
at
doing
the
the
same
cobras.
time.
Yeah, they're
And they-
walk
and
like
they
an
were
doing like the
Egyptian
Egyptians.
and they reused that shot about
Cock
60
like an
times.
Egyptian.
I hate that animation. It's like what happens when you do twos and ones, but the things that should be on ones are on twos, and vice versa. It's just like everything's janking around like
terrible.
Like,
And then?
Yeah, and then so Big Ben is captured and brought to the lair, which is on an island in. Andrew, stop banging your head.
Andrew, microphones are very expensive.
Yeah.
I learned that in a voice
So
acting
they
class.
they end up going to the most evil place for a lair in the world, Scotland, and they go on this uncharted
no,
island.
What's the
it's
island
like
called?
Isle of Worms.
Isle of Worms.
Isle of Worms.
It's the island
Creepy
of
Oh,
worms.
the creepy crawlies. And so
Creepy crawlies. I love that little gesture that he made with his hand. It's like,
Yeah.
How you say is it creepy crawlies?
Take a shot.
I kind of creepy
I
crawlies.
love
bottle.
There's this weird pacing to that question. It's like, what kind of creepy crawlies? I half expect Skies to say something like, like frogs, oops. But no, that doesn't happen.
What
It
did
just-
you say?
That would be funny.
I am going to, turn your heart off with magic.
Scotty, you are what do you call it? Oh
Dead.
yes, an asshole. But so they go,
Alright.
they get taken into the lair,
inside.
and there's this, and it just goes
El
on and on. This monologue by this fucking El Supremo guy.
Okay, Zoe, you obviously can. I mean, you were trying to describe this to Mike, and it's like I vaguely understand what the whole
The
point.
reasoning
of the,
behind stealing all these
It would
monuments.
be my pleasure to explain.
You're the Freddie the Frog
Please.
scholar. Could you elucidate?
Please be El
So they're-
Supremo right now.
Be a hero.
Way! So they've been stealing monuments and shrinking them and collecting them. Why? To be assholes?
Yes.
To demand ransom?
No.
To what? What could it be? Could it? No. Well, they are collecting and shrinking monuments so that they can collect the history and the culture and the spirits and the energy of that into a giant diamond. And once they have collected all the monuments and they've collected all the energy, it will suck out all the energy out of the UK, causing everyone in the UK to become lethargic and tired, thus allowing them to invade the UK with submarines.
The medical professionals are now bringing in the straitjacket and
No, it's in the movie, I swear. I swear.
and they're now wrapping her up and taking her away
then-
into a.
into
Zoe was
padded
such
wagon.
a quiet person.
And the thing is,
It's not me, it's
then-
the frog.
and then El Supremo like
What's the frog? The frog.
is at one point he
One
looks like he
froggy.
teabags Stonehenge.
Yes.
It's the
He's
mini
doing
stone.
a dance on top of a mini Stonehenge. I hate this fucking
And
movie.
at one point, Freddie the Frog has a moment where he's like, "We're in Scotland.
We're not even
We're going
watching it and we're being broken.
yeah, I mean, we're in Scotland. Yes, we should be eating the local cuisine. What is the round thing with the bumps? Haggis. Oh yes, haggis. We will
Have
haggis.
At
And then
this
Supremo is like,
at this point in my
anyway.
Supremo doesn't even read like. There's a reason that talk is so easily cut out of the American version because Supremo just talks about his plan.
yeah, it's so funny. He Freddy goes on about this haggis thing, and then El Supremo is just like, you know what? Fuck your conversation. Anyway, my evil plan is about to commence.
Speaking of food, I love that stupid scene where he's all like, "Your supper's coming." Ooh, yo, it's frog legs. Ooh, yo, and with a side of lemon. Ooh, yo, it's just like, Brian Blessed, stop. Sorry, I'm screaming.
But
it's because I'm so upset.
It's
understandable.
Either way,
it's okay. No one's gonna blame me.
There's a brief fight with the snake that leads to nothing. Then
throws it on a pole,
and then she gets captured for.
That's how it was written on the
Then
script.
Daffers is taken by El Supremo for his own reasons.
I'm actually surprised that you know her name.
Because she kept saying it because I didn't know what her name was.
Daffers.
Oh,
And
yeah,
then-
that's right.
and
Zoe.
So Scotty and
Defer.
Freddy are put in a
I
cage
didn't give a
and lowered into the water
I
where these.
wanted them to die.
So Scotty and Freddy are put in a cage and lowered into the water.
And they die, and the credits roll.
It's
Yeah.
the most beautiful thing.
And so they get lowered in.
If you
It's all these
folks at
monsters.
home are following any of this, my God, you are either cheating and taking notes,
Or you've seen the film as many times as I have.
God, I mean,
Oh my god. I'm watching Andrew he's sweating balls right now.
I'm like, no, I'm seriously, I'm so exhausted.
I mean, we were exhausted. Like, even after we watched it, you're like, I don't think I can record this.
Wow,
You
you
were like-
really bring us in on the difficult assignments.
Yeah, but either we needed you. We couldn't.
We
have done this
needed you. We
alone.
couldn't
Thank
do
you.
this without
and
you.
I couldn't do it without you.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Nor
Thank
would you.
you.
Oh, so any-
I just gotta say, when you invited me to do this, 'cause
You
knew
stay in your seat. Please let me go home.
when you invited me to do this podcast, and you knew how excited I was and couldn't understand why, I'm like, yes, I will do it, but may I bring Jacob? And then I told Jacob, you're doing a Freddie the Frog podcast. Like, I am. Oh boy.
But so I gotta.
Oh, but I got plans and I gotta do
I
things.
don't want to lose brain cells. There's a cheaper way to lose.
I gotta tell you something. This is completely irrelevant to the movie. Last Monday.
We don't need more.
No, not this past Monday, but the Monday before. I had all 4 of my wisdom teeth taken out. Oh. And it wasn't painful. It was easy. The recovery's been great.
Yeah, you took it really well.
I took it really well. This movie, I feel more pain watching and trying to understand this movie than me having all 4 of my wisdom teeth taken out of my fucking head.
You were singing. You were singing about oh, my wisdom teeth are out.
This movie is like,
I get to eat yogurt.
I get to eat yogurt all day.
this is your
She's like-
body's way of rebelling.
Yeah.
It's like,
So-
yeah, you don't like pain.
There
So-
are limits.
Yeah. So
Should we go back to this?
Yeah, so Freddy and Scotty are put in a cage and lowered into a tank filled with random
Including a
monsters,
sea owl.
including a sea owl with
A
tentacles.
giant sea owl penguin
thing.
thing.
gorilla.
So he's like holding his breath and he can't do it, and Freddy can breathe underwater because he's a frog, and he tries
No,
to.
he's not.
Oh, he's not a frog.
He is not.
Yes, he
Not.
is not.
But he has gills?
He is.
He could, either way, you could breathe underwater, and so he's like, I'm going to give you a kiss.
Use
And
my
he's
frog
and
tongue.
you can tell Scotty's like, I'd rather die. But he takes out a tiny little horn and breathes into the horn to
Yeah, funnel. Just
a funnel. It's nice that he carries around a funnel. And so at one point he's like, don't worry, Scotty, I will save it. And he does the whistle and calls for Nessie. Mm-hmm. And Nessie comes to the rescue.
It takes her much longer in this version than it does in the US version.
And so he saves, and then she scares the monsters away, and she opens the cage, and they're having a little back and forth, like, oh, Nessie, it's been so long. Oh, "Oh, Freddy." And while it's like,
Meanwhile,
Scotty's drowning. Can you bring
Scotty's
him to
eyes are bulging out of his head.
Yeah, I would assume, like, while this discussion is happening, you see Scotty in the back, like, just floating to the top of the cage. Just like... with his eyes rolled back into his head and his face blue.
Yeah.
And it's like, have I introduced you to Scotty?
That image gives me such joy
Wait a minute,
relief.
I just realized something. So wait a minute, hold on. Oh, I thought they were on the snake ship. They're on the island. Because they get saved, they bring to the surface, just abandon Scotty. It's like, we will save deaf heirs.
Oh, yeah, and then they abandoned Scotty on top of, like,
for
a rock.
6 days.
So then, Freddy and Nessie are taken... This is in many ways... as useless as the alligator song from All Dogs, and it's very similar.
It looks like
they go down into the depths, and you find that Nessie has a whole family of Loch Ness monsters, and they
just
sing.
been laying eggs for months.
And not only that, she's a shy girl.
She's a shy, and she sings this very sexy song.
She's a grandmother, and as I put it, she is an underwater grandmother that I'd like to fuck.
A giant woman.
A mergilf.
A mergilf.
Mergilfs.
Yes, because
Mergilf.
we know that she's a granny because
the diaper wearing monstrosity.
There's a little baby.
The diaper's already
that
wet,
comes up,
you
it's like,
guys.
oh, Granny, is this Freddy? Is this my father?
Is this the one you won't shut up about?
Is this the one that left us?
And they have this useless song number that goes on, and while this is going on, it's like, like, England's being invaded right now.
I'm worried about Scotty.
Freezing to death
He's
on a
freezing
rock.
to death on a rock, and he says, look, they're on the island they're supposed to be, and all of a sudden Freddy and Nessie go off into the deep, and Scotty's just there's like, is he gonna get help?
It's like, after how long is the song? It's like a minute, 2 minutes. I don't know.
It goes on for a while.
It's like, hey, we wrote this song and we're gonna try all these different song types.
Hey, you think Disney can do the Little Mermaid with Under the Sea? Look at what the shit I can do. Hey, I'm better than Disney. Fuck.
Oh my god.
Calypso ain't shit.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I got a fucking sea monster.
Okay, here's what bites me in the ass. Here's what burns my buttered toast.
Tell us. Okay, I gotta hear this.
It's not
Out of all the things.
It's not okay.
Well, actually, it's not that bad.
She sings this horribly long song, and it ends with like, I'm a shy girl. Yes, Freddy. Now, what was it that you wanted to talk to me about?
What?
And it's just like,
What?
That is the biggest F you can give to the viewer, just because, like, we're supposed to care about the world being I guess the UK being at stake. But
So Freddy comes back, and
before. Oh, sorry.
Nessie ties up. They just tie up all the submarines together
with seaweed. And that, what was it? Like, it's a gremlin Leonard Nimoy monkey thing.
His eyes are shifty.
He looks like he should have been like a James Hong character. He kind of looked like
He is the best thing in the movie for me.
Yeah.
Our submarines more forward, and that's his only line.
And it's
right?
like, what? You idiots! I said forward, and then it's a shot of all the submarines just going in a circle because they've all been tied together with seaweed. How strong is that seaweed?
That closes that.
Thanks, Nessie.
Yeah, Scotty and Freddy go infiltrate the base again, the island, and they disguise themselves as like cheapo.
Scotty's like, I got hypothermia.
There's a really tender moment where he's in the dark where they left him on the rock, freezing cold and soaked, and he just goes, Nessie. And then they show up. It's like, if you'd been gone for one more minute, you probably would have died. Great job.
Yeah, so they sneak into the base disguised as like stormtroopers.
Meanwhile, we've seen images of Daffers, Daphne, and she's gone full Manchurian Candidate, parallax view.
Oh yeah, we're supposed to assume that she's being hypnotized because she's saying it's like like
The
all
snake
hail the
will
snake.
rule the world.
Snake will rule the world.
world.
But then there's like moments where she's just like, oh fuck this.
Why am I saying this?
Freddie, please come over and save
There's
me.
a moment where
She is
right next to El
faking her
Supremo.
hypnotism.
She's right next to El Supremo, and Snake Messina is like, I'm testing you. And then she goes away, just like Dapper's just doing, Snake will rule the world, Snake will rule the world. The two of them go away, and Dapper's just like, the snake will rule. Oh, Freddy. Oh, gosh.
She is so useless.
Scotty's pretty useless too.
Yeah.
Well, you're pretty useless if you don't have psychic powers, I guess.
But yeah, so they go in and they
Magic of the
save
mind.
Daffers, and then
how did they save Daffers? What's his name? Freddy grabs the two guards by the back of the neck and just chokes them slowly.
Yeah, he just like I think he broke their backs just by like squeezing their necks, and then they fall to the ground. It wasn't even like, grabbing them and bonking them both on the head.
Nope.
He just grabs their necks and
brings
then they
them
fall.
down.
Liquefies their bones and drinks their blood.
Jesus, it's like
In a cutscene.
it's almost like a Vulcan when they just like kind of like do a pressure point and then they fall. He just fucking grabs their necks and like.
I love to think that Freddy thinks like it's all about magic and the mind, but no, it turns out Freddy is really strong.
Yeah.
And is stronger than he doesn't know his own strength, and that's like he's more dangerous than anyone.
He's a Freddy Sue.
And then we have a really weird fight scene with
to Asia. No, it's Boy George and Asia.
Boy
Got a
George
strong
and
ass
Asia.
frog. He knows magic. He's gonna be the best thing since anything Disney's
Take
ever
that,
made.
Disney.
And
He's
that-
huge.
And the music doesn't match the fighting in the
It's so
sequence.
slow.
And
Oh,
they have
God.
guns, and they don't shoot the
This
fucking
fight
guns.
scene, this fight scene pisses me off because, like, Daffers and what's his name and Scotty are like they're doing their thing, but really slow.
What is Scotty beating him with? Like a
A shillelagh.
it's like
I
a
don't think
bag.
it's a shillelagh. It's
No,
like
Okay,
I
it's
think
a,
with
it's
a
a
water
McDonald's
balloon.
takeout bag.
It's
Yeah.
It's his wallet. He's just
He's
beating them with
he's beating them with like a liquefied
bag.
rock.
His dignity,
Haggis.
and
But-
it just breaks.
Yeah, with
immediately.
Haggis. But what pisses me off is they're doing this, and then Freddy says,
beat you with the
don't
inside
use
of a sheep's
weapons, use their mind. And then Daffers and Scotty their answer should be, shut up, Freddy, and join the fight. It's Freddy's right, and they I guess just
He almost got
moved-
shot.
yeah.
They have
Scotty-
guns,
Scotty
and
got-
they're literally walking up to them with guns, and it's like, fucking shoot them.
Scotty should have been dead because there
Many
were several
times.
like there have been several shots fired at him, like straight forward, and he's running toward the firing.
If this
It's-
movie has taught me anything, it's that I need a gun.
Yeah.
And at this
Because
point,
after I'm done with this movie, I need to end it.
I'm like so fucking tired right now. And I know we still have to talk
We're
about
almost
the
done.
ending.
We're almost
We're
done.
almost
Let's
done.
move
We're
on.
so
Let's
close.
keep going.
We need to wrap this up.
They expand Big Ben and they
It
take out El
goes
Supremo.
right up El Supremo's ass.
Yeah.
Deliciously.
Right. And
So
then
the movie's over, right? It should be over.
They're like,
No.
they're saying,
Ha ha!
God.
We meet again, Freddy.
Well, they set it up.
Hey, it's my aunt. How
They
you
set
doing?
it up that El Supremo gets grown and then shrunk, and then, haha, that's right, Brigadier, we've beat all the bad guys. And then suddenly the chair turns around. Messina's like, how you forgot? Haha, you forgot about me.
This
Freddy."
movie will never end.
and then there's this really stupid, really one-sided fight with Freddy and this evil
And he gets
villain.
flashbacks about his dad during this. It's
He's
like
pretty much giving him the
Luke.
Luke,
Yeah.
use the Force, Freddy.
What does she turn into? She
She
turns
turns
into
she turns into a flying thing and just flies
It's
into
like
a wall.
Yeah.
Well, that's the fastest way to get anywhere.
She turns into a gargoyle.
She says
thing.
like gibberish. She's like, Freddy.
See if you can keep up with me, Freddy. And she
Hits a wall.
and then hits
She
a wall,
turns
turns
into
into a
a
hyena,
hyena.
which is a well-animated hyena. But then that hyena, just runs into a wall.
Into
like
the table.
No, it goes down on the table.
Yeah,
Oh,
it,
yeah,
it
yeah.
goes to the table, eats the leg for some reason.
And the- and the-
What
and
did
the-
you say? Because it sent me into hysterics.
Yeah, she's the most incompetent. She's
This is the woman who killed your father, Freddy, that killed your mother and threatened to kill you. Willikers.
Yeah, so then
Then a scorpion.
Then she's a scorpion, and then they like tap dance and make her tired. And then she turns into a big bird.
No, she turns into an anaconda.
A completely different snake.
Yeah.
She goes from being a hippie cobra to
I'll show you a snake like I can be.
So like, let me give you another hug, because I'm your family member.
Then he has another flashback where his father says, "You're stronger than you think, Freddy."
Fuck you,
and
Dad.
then he just
Do we
grabs
really
her.
need more than one flashback?
Yeah, you get 2 fucking flashbacks. Because Freddy
He needed to be
weak.
reminded, It's just...
It's like his dad gave him a flashback as he's dying. It's like, oh, one more thing, you're strong.
Yeah, I'm getting a flashback right now.
Oh, that's right. And then he just picks up the snake, swings her around, throws her off, she turns into a vulture and says, "I'll be back in the sequel."
And then she flies out, she gets sucked into an air turbine.
In the sequel, Freddy does Dallas.
Oh, so then, so either way, they save the day, they return the monuments, he gets knighthood.
No, he refuses
knighthood.
I don't think my president would like it.
Sir Ben Kingsley, how could you say that?
Yeah. But then they get, they toast, and the brigadier gets tangled in almost gets tangled in a cord again. He actually doesn't.
He's learned his lesson.
Bad guys go to jail.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. How did you know Trilby was evil, Freddy?
Well,
Just look at him.
Racial profiling?
Jeez. He's the most fucking evil person I've seen here.
I may be an idiot, but I'm not how you say stupid.
Yeah, there was earlier they flashed. He flashed his
he has a tattoo like an idiot.
Yeah.
A tattoo that says I am
dumb. Please kill me.
It was me. I'm the evil one.
Oh, and so he was a spy for El Supremo.
Yes.
And
nobody thought to look at his arm.
Except for Freddy, who's all like, "What time is it?" And like, "Oh, it's evil o'clock."
Time to leave. So then the brigadier gets a call saying Freddy has to go to America for another case.
America.
And then he goes,
I'm pretty sure he would be like,
"I've always wanted to go to how you say
Hollywood.
the United States of America."
how you say.
You just said it, Freddy.
And then iris out, and that's the end of the movie.
It's a heart iris.
But the thing is, it's a heart iris, and then the credits go, and it's a shitty song.
FRO 7.
But they planned a sequel where he goes to Washington, right?
They planned a sequel. It was called Freddy Goes to Washington.
It would have been amazing.
It's called hubris.
If the Swan Princess can have CGI sequels, why can't Freddy?
Well, the thing is that this movie did so poorly. This movie did so poorly that they were already in production of doing the sequel.
Oh no!
And when this movie came out and did so poorly, they were just like, well, fuck.
Yeah. Tell me
what is the budget? What was the budget and what was the gross?
Okay, what was the budget? Okay, the box office. This made over $1 million. Apparently.
At a cost of?
Yeah, that's what it says here.
Wow.
I don't know what the cost was.
$1 million.
$1 million.
A quarter penny.
A
pound of flesh.
Hey, Penny.
2 shiny goats.
Oh, I'd like to see that.
But this movie did better than the 10 Commandments, which is another feature that grossed like over 950,000.
You mean the animated 10 Commandments or the concept of religion?
This movie also had Ben Kingsley in it, 10 Commandments, and Delgo, which only did under 700,000.
Wow.
So this movie,
well, we did better than Delgo, guys. High five.
I mean, the thing is, does it have high production value?
It kind of feels...
It kind of does, because there are moments where the animation does look very well done. And it does look like the animators had fun with some moments. I would say, those moments with the...
El Supremo.
Yeah, El Supremo, first off. And there were some moments here and there, but any moment with Freddy or anything else is just kind of like, this is the B team. But the commissioner, that guy, whenever they did phone stuff with him, where he's just turning around and doing the wires crossed, and I mean, those are annoying scenes, but they're very well done annoying scenes.
I'm impressed that they
followed through
Certain
with it.
characters are under animated.
Yeah.
Like Scotty and Daffers look like they were animated by like a Hanna-Barbera people. Yeah. And then Freddy's animated. Freddy's animated semi-competently, and then all the budget was put into the Snake and El Supremo.
There's that moment where Daffer's like, okay, so they're in the cage, they get dropped into the ocean, and Daffer's like in 3D comes towards the screen and goes, Freddy! But it's like she's shaking violently.
Yeah, you actually reenacted it as she did it.
Yes, because it stayed with me.
But then, like, years later, they decided to re-edit this movie, and they tried to make it chronological. They instead of like it opening with
Freddy in the penthouse,
Freddy in Paris, they started it way back in the dawn of time or something.
And who was that narrator?
And it was narrated by James Earl Jones.
If you watch the trailer as I have, they make a big stink about it. They actually say, and narrated by James Earl Jones, and then have some of him narrating in the trailer, and it's like, I've never seen that before.
Because around this time, I think Lion King was out. Because this was like 1995. When did Lion King come out?
94.
94. So yeah, I mean, he was a big name. So it was just like, let's get James Earl Jones on this. He's done animation before. He knows how this goes. But yeah, that re-edited version also cuts out like long moments of conversation.
Half of songs.
There's like a lot of racially sensitive moments that are cut out.
Good.
And they redubbed the crows.
Yes.
So
good.
Yes, definitely.
In watching, like when we were deciding which version to watch, you guys were like, let's do the USA version, and we were like, no, the UK version's actually much more tolerable, and
I forgot which one was which. I just lost.
The one that we watched was the UK version, and Jake and I regret our decision. I regret my decision. Jacob at the last minute said USA version.
No matter which way we chose, which movie we chose.
No, I don't. Really.
I feel really gross having watched Freddie the Frog. I just like it does not fill you with joy.
You've seen it more times than we have.
I don't know why.
This is my second time seeing it.
It's not good.
So when we started
this is my third time seeing this because I had to see both.
I've seen it so many times.
When we started this, you had mentioned this film appears on a lot of bottom 10 lists. Do you believe that it deserves its placement?
Fuck yes. This movie deserves. I mean, I rarely say that movies should not be seen, because like I mean, there's a lot of like animated films that I've seen where I'm just like, it's the bottom of the barrel. It's intolerable to watch. Yeah. I mean, we still like.
I try to find the good the better things.
Well, there are good things to this. There's some good animation,
but the bad is so bad.
The story-wise,
I
think the story is more offensive than the actual visuals
because it's all over the place. It like goes back and forth, and there are so many elements to this. It's like it's how I feel. I keep telling people is like if I had a chance to re-edit Rock-a-Doodle, I know it could be a good movie. And with this, they did re-edit it. And I know that doesn't help it at all because there's still a lot of incompetence. It's like, you don't need any of that Prince Frederick. He knows magic. He grew as a frog. It's like, none of that matters. None of it. It's like...
I feel like it should be a crime to just put this in front of a child and walk away.
If I had even an ounce of care, there's some things like I remember I used to talk about this with friends where some movies or things are so bad that you know that if you went in and says I'm going to do a remake or redo this movie, I know I could do a much better job by myself. It's like there was one thing that me and a friend of mine, our friend Chris, we watched this thing because we saw it at the worst cartoons ever panel at Comic-Con called Sam Bassett Hound for Hire.
Yeah.
And it's about the idea of Chapultepec, which is a little dog, a little chihuahua.
Yeah, with a sombrero.
Yeah, who speaks with a guitar. And he goes, Chapultepec, I'm going to wash your guitar out with soap. And like it would be a fun character. Like I think it's a fun idea to have this detective dog and his little sidekick. Like it would be fun. And then it would be cool to remake it. In the case of Freddy the Frog, I know that if I was able to remake Freddy the Frog,
I could
make it amazing.
It's an interesting concept. But the thing is like there's elements that don't need to be told, and that's the incompetence of not knowing what to cut out. Yeah. You know, it's like there had to have been something in this because it was directed by the same guy who wrote it.
Yeah.
And I hate to say that you need to cut out fluff and you need to be told like this really isn't working. It like there's something that has to be cut out. You can't just say no. The story is key. The story is like amazing. You just have to watch it all the way through. It's like no, some things don't make sense. They need to be taken out.
It's like the UK time of this film is an hour and a half.
Yeah, it's 93 minutes.
Were they required to make it an hour and a half? Because
I don't know. This could have been 70 minutes. The 20 minutes could have been chopped off of this movie.
Yeah, and I think they were for the US version.
They probably had to because there's so much stuff they had to cut out.
The only excuse I can think of is, oh God, I'm so exhausted.
We're getting really tired.
What more is there to say about Freddy the Frog?
Well, I mean, I think in the case of
burn it.
In the case of like fluff, people like Walt Disney even knew like we have a sequence they had a sequence in Snow White that was in production for 6 months, and they knew they just had to get back and move on with the story. They can't keep having little fun moments with the dwarves in Snow White. They had to get back to the Queen and see what she was up to.
Yeah.
So he took he says, I know we worked 6 months on this sequence and we need to cut it. And then people were disappointed, but he knew that even if you have to kind of kill your baby sometime in order for the story to work.
Yeah.
Here, there's so many times where they take a useless detour that doesn't need to be there.
Like you can't be too attached to
Nessie
something.
song was completely unnecessary.
Walt Disney presents Freddy the Frog.
Oh, I thought it was
no, it's going to be better than
necessary.
Disney.
If it were made today, it'd be called something like Froggled.
Froggled.
Yeah.
Frug.
By the way, there's a credit here. Edmund Kingsley plays young Freddy.
So it's Ben Kingsley's
it's his son. Yeah,
that's his son.
I remember looking at
except
the
except for that one line where he says goodbye, which is like
Ben Kingsley
redubbed
going,
by
it's
like can we get your son back in here to record this line? He's like no, he's tired.
No, he saw what you people were doing.
The way that the line delivery is like I am not the frog. I am a boy. Oh, of course you are. Here's your stuff. Goodbye.
and with fast with frogs.
But yeah, that's Freddy the Frog.
It will suck the life force out of you.
Yeah,
it's on YouTube, guys. Watch it at your own discretion.
Yeah.
Go to your local Goodwill and buy a VHS.
If you can find it, I don't know where.
Somebody pay me $1 million for mine.
As Dapper said, Freddy will rule the world.
Oh yeah, it's like Snake shall rule the world. Snake shall rule the world. She's rescued. Freddy will rule the world. Take that for making me say it forever. And then she takes off her coat and she's wearing a very revealing, like, short skirt.
Huh, now I want to watch the movie again.
It's a little lemon raspberry colored number.
Andrew put it on a hard drive and plugged it into his television. And when the UK version finished, the American version started playing because we didn't know which one we wanted to watch. And when did you guys finally stop the second one?
We were powerless to stop it.
Yeah, we went through the entire opening credits.
I love how in the opening credits of the American version with the YouTube version, it's blown out as like you can't see anything.
Yeah,
and the singing is like. Oh God!
That's
tonight. I'm gonna dream about Freddy the Frog, and I'm not looking forward to it. Thanks, guys, so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, this was one of the worst things we've seen.
I am not a number.
This movie was how you say shit.
This film was was how you say merde.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
No, Freddy doesn't say any French in the film.
With that said, I would like to thank Zoe and Jacob
Thank you.
for joining us.
A pleasure. Please have
It's
us back for
listen.
another
It's
time.
always a pleasure to have you guys with us because it's
no one.
well, I mean, we watch these movies and we have fun watching them. Because
Evidently not with this one.
But I mean, we have to talk about it, and like the memories come back, and we're just like, oh god. But seriously, watching the movie with you guys, it's like it's so much fun, and
thank you.
And seriously, like we'll have you back at any moment that you want. Suggest another better one. No, not now, not now. Think about it. But yeah,
sleep on it.
See where
I'm just gonna dream of Freddy.
Where
5 Nights at
Freddy's dead.
Five
Nights at Freddy's.
Freddy the
Frog. Oh God,
wait,
no! I will not take 5 Nights of Freddy the Frog.
Out of the dark, you just hear haggis.
Wait, Freddy the Freddy the Frog 5. Freddy in Hell.
The movie also ends. I forgot.
Freddy versus Jason.
The movie.
Oh my word!
The movie ended. Freddy got fingered.
How do you say, Daddy? Would you like some
sausage?
Look at my hooves.
Jesus.
But the movie.
You know, that's the only movie that I ever walked out of in a theater.
Oh, you missed the best.
Oh, I didn't miss anything. I didn't miss a goddamn.
I've
You
never
need to go back to the theater
No,
right now.
I didn't miss
Right
anything.
now, young man.
Don't.
I've
you
never
dare tell
walked
me
out of
to
a
see
movie.
this
I've sat through it. But the 2 movies I was ever close to walking out of, one was Corpse Bride, and the other was Disney's Dinosaur. The live action.
But Mike, they opened up a whole wing of Disney for that film, only to close it because the film failed.
Because it sucked.
I don't know what you
Great
mean.
ride at Disney World.
Okay, we went to Disney World. We went on that ride. I was going through a really big Jurassic Park thing, so anything dinosaurs would make me very happy. And we go on that ride. I'm like, dinosaurs! Oh no, it's that shit thing. Oh, it's so boring.
Thing.
It's
Not Alador.
Alador looks like
Alador.
How many love monkeys were in the movie?
Alador, I can't believe that's his name, looks like a 5-year-old took his own crap and made a dinosaur out of it.
How about Baleen, honey? The Della Reese dinosaur.
Oh,
Alador is...
I know what movie we're gonna watch next, and I don't want to. No, I've never seen Dinosaur.
Alador just sounds
watch
like
it.
a book series, like a novel
I
series.
think if we talk about this
like
anymore,
Aragon or something.
if you talk about this anymore, people are gonna be like, "Yeah, you guys should talk about Dinosaur."
Oh, but we should.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've never.
We're talking
seen
about it right
we
now.
should.
Oh, she's never seen it.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I know what our next death sentence is.
But anyway, before we go into another tangent, Zoe, Jacob, please tell us where we can find you.
In jail.
In jail.
For
Thought crimes.
with pitchforks
in
and
a hole
torches.
that I dug for myself.
You can find me at my website, jacobstrick.com, like it sounds, or at our webcomic, pizzadaycomics.com.
Woo! Yeah.
You can find me on brainfarto.com. You can find me on Tumblr at brainfarto.tumblr.com. You can find me on Instagram at, Instagram, blah, 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 Zoe Moss Art.
And same on Twitter.
Yeah, and Twitter is Zoe Moss Art as well. I'm quite frequent with those.
So hit us up.
Yeah, definitely.
And you can find me in space with Freddy.
I hope, Zoe,
Jumping.
you know that you're gonna have to draw a Freddy. You have to please draw a Freddy in your style.
You said please, so yeah. I am not
I saw
doing that.
I saw someone post today that hell for an artist is where you go to hell and you're forced to draw all the art you promised your friends that you would do.
I don't promise anyone.
Well, you still have to draw Jiminy Glickett.
No, I never promised that.
Folks, please tweet to AWD tweet
Hashtag.
No.
Hashtag to
Anyway,
make
speaking of.
I'm gonna have to draw Freddy now. I feel awful.
You can
Okay,
make him cute.
speaking of animated, Anarchy has a P.O. box. If you would like to send us garbage, please do. Send us letters. We'll read them on the show.
Photos of Freddy the Frog.
Yeah.
8x10 glossies of
If you would like
Holmes inspired.
if you would like to shower Mike with several drawings of Jiminy Glicket,
Or Freddie the Frog.
please send them to Animated Anarchy, P.O. Box 10852, Burbank, California 91510. You can also find us on Facebook. We are Animated Anarchy Cast, so go to facebook.com/Animated Anarchy Cast. You can find us on iTunes and Stitcher. Please give us a good review. It's simple as that. Mike is nosing his microphone, and you can find my work at AWD Twit on Twitter. I also have a Patreon page where you can please help donate to the show and any other sort of ventures that I may happen to go through. You can find that at patreon.com/AWD. And Mike, where can folks find you as you chew on my
an insane
equipment?
asylum after watching this movie? You can find me on Twitter at a guy who draws on Twitter. I have a Tumblr, just Michael J. Ruocco, RUOCCO, at tumblr.com. And that's all I really do.
All right.
Everyone's got 15 million websites. I got like 2.
Yeah, I still envy Steve that he has been able to just name everything his name, and then that's it. He just has to say one thing, and then it's like, if you want to find me anywhere, it's just go to my name.
There's no other Steve Yurkos in the world.
Yeah, apparently. Where are this other Steve Yurkos?
You can find me at FreddyTheFrogConfessions.com. Confessions of Freddy the Frog.
This Tumblr is for, how you say, fan art of Freddy the Frog.
I'm tempted to start it, but I'm not.
I bet if I go to Fur Affinity, I'll find Freddy the Frog with Pepe Le Pew.
Oh God.
I don't know. I mean,
No.
Well, guys,
be the
No,
change you want to see
please
in the
send
world.
in.
No.
yes.
We'll have a contest.
I want Slash of Messina
find-
and El Supremo. Oh my God!
Listen,
Do not send me that.
we're gonna find that in our PO box. You know that.
Good, it's your P.O. box, not mine.
Hey, I'm gonna show you everything that I get in that box.
But then you're going to be the one that has to have it, to keep it.
No, I'm giving it to you.
Oh,
I'm gonna
nice.
shove it in your bag and
Guys, give it to me.
Plaster your wall above your bed.
Okay, so
Sleep well, Freddy. Sleep
Get one of
well.
those get a pillow with Freddy printed on it.
Oh my God! I mean, no, that's horrible.
Not a
No,
Daimakura.
he is the size of a love pillow. It's
Goodbye, everybody.
This movie.
Oh God.
that
Anyway,
note-
on that note, thank you so much for joining us on Animated Anarchy.
And we're so sorry.
We will see you next time with another wonderful
How you
movie.
say.
How you say movie of some sort. And yes, thank you so much again, Zoe and Jacob, for joining us. I am Andrew.
And I am, how you say, Michael.
Good night.
And how you say bye-bye.
Oh, ribbit.
Oh.